I've been a fat guy, and I've lost weight the fast, dumb way and the slow, dumb way. Eventually, I lost 50 pounds in 4 months, and I've learned a million lessons through trial and error and working with in-person clients. But in this video, I'm going to give you the 10 that have made all of the difference. And to kick things off is lesson number 1, you need to have a plan. You gotta have a plan. During my earlier cuts, especially my second one, I didn't have a plan. It was a constant freestyle. I was just running on willpower and discipline with a bunch of fitness tips just rattling around in my head. Every day I'd be asking myself the same questions. What should I eat today? What kind of workout should I do? And I thought that was flexibility, but it wasn't. It was just decision fatigue. Every single day required thinking effort just to decide what to do, and that effort adds up fast. And that's why those cuts never stuck. Because all that thinking starts to overwhelm you to the point that you just go, screw this, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's. But when I lost 50 pounds in 4 months, that was the one mistake I did not want to repeat. So I didn't guess anymore. Food had a plan, training had a plan, even the boring stuff had a plan, like setting your calendar. And that's the difference. It was about removing friction, because when life gets chaotic, and it will, the plan is what carries you through when the motivation disappears. So if you just rely on willpower and discipline, you're already losing. But once people finally do have a plan, they make the next mistake. They try to execute it perfectly. And that's lesson number 2. Good enough beats perfect. This is something I really learned by training people. I'd give someone a plan, give them the basics, and instead of just doing it, they try to do it perfectly. You either do everything right or none of it counts. So what happens? You miss a workout, you go over on calories one day, you mess something up, and instead of just continuing, you think, well, I already screwed it up, I'll just start again on Monday. I remember a client telling me once, I'm just the type of person who has to do it perfectly or not at all. And they were saying it like it made them special, like they were built different. But they weren't. This is the classic all or nothing mindset. And it is so common. They literally teach you how to handle it in personal training handbooks. So stop aiming for perfect execution. Aim for good enough done consistently. That's how you actually make progress instead of constantly resetting all the time. And once you stop trying to be perfect, something else becomes obvious. Progress doesn't come from waiting until everything is perfectly lined up. It comes from taking messy action. And one of the biggest places I waited and paid for it was the gym, which brings us to lesson number 3, don't sleep on the gym. This lesson cost me a lot of wasted effort. When I first lost weight, I told myself, I'm gonna lose the fat first so I can be confident going to the gym. And that sounds reasonable, but it's just wrong. What actually happened was this. I went through all of the work of losing all this weight, and when I finally got there, I was not impressed with the result. I was lighter, but I didn't look like how I thought I would. I was skinny fat, soft, no abs, no confidence. So now I had a new problem. I still had to learn all of the gym from scratch after already doing all of this work. And that made everything way harder than it needed to be, because instead of combining the fat loss and strength training from the start, I basically reset myself back to zero in a smaller body. And here's the part I didn't understand back then. I thought confidence would come after I had the result, but working with clients actually taught me the opposite. A lot of them would actually get confident in the pursuit of their goal, from strength training, learning new movements, adding weight, and getting better at something tangible, because they were building competence. So don't wait to feel confident before you start lifting. Start lifting and let confidence be built along the way. And once strength training is in the picture, you're gonna start seeing better results. But to actually get there, you have to beat the next thing, because this is what stops almost everyone. Learn to beat hunger. Duh, but let me explain. Early on, I thought fat loss was just about eating less food, lower calories, eat whatever I want, as long as I eat less of it. Just be disciplined, have more restraint. And that works until it doesn't, because hunger is a thing that actually kills your diet. If you follow the advice you see online, like you can still eat donuts and still lose weight, that's true, but if you do it too much, you will get hungry, and that will make you quit. At some point, fat loss has to stop being about just, I need to eat less, and start being about, how do I eat in a way that isn't miserable for me? And that means thinking strategically, eating foods you actually like, but choosing foods that will fill you up. Whole foods, higher volume and convenient foods. Protein matters, but fiber matters too. And carbs aren't the enemy, because if you don't solve hunger, your diet will always feel like a countdown. And this countdown doesn't end on a good note. When hunger is handled, fat loss becomes almost automatic. Again, your diet shouldn't rely on willpower. It should be designed to keep you full, less hungry, and craving less. So You can stay consistent long enough to actually see results happen. But in order to beat hunger, the next question becomes, why do some foods technically fit my calories but still leave me starving? And this is where most people miss it. Not all calories behave the same, and fat is sneaky, so reduce the fat. It's almost everywhere. It is incredibly calorie dense, tiny amounts for a lot of calories. So even if the food fits your calories, it doesn't mean it's going to keep you full. And that's why this is such a simple hack. If you want to stay full and eat more food for fewer calories, reduce the fat. That's it. This is literally what most healthy recipes online are doing. They're not magic. They just swap sour cream for Greek yogurt, full fat cheese for reduced fat cheese, regular ground beef or like fattier ground beef for leaner ground beef. It's the same meals, it's the same flavor, just with way fewer calories. And fat isn't bad, but when the fat is high, the volume is low, and low volume diets make you hungry. So if you're trying to stay full in a calorie deficit, prioritize lower fat versions of the foods you already eat. And that one change lets you eat more food and feel fuller, and actually stick to the plan. But once you start reducing the fat, a lot of people make the next mistake. They think the answer is to cut carbs too, and that's just backwards. So don't cut carbs, use them. Carbs are your main source of energy. And if you actually want to look good naked, you're gonna have to train hard in the gym. But you don't build muscle or strength or shape running on fumes. So when people cut carbs, a few things happen fast. Their workouts suck, they stop pushing the weight, and they stop progressing. And when performance drops, fat loss is gonna stall. And here's the irony. Some of the most filling foods on the planet are actually carbs. Potatoes, for example, are one of the highest satiety foods there is, which just means that they are very good at making you full. So when people cut carbs, they don't make dieting easier, they just make it harder. That's why I leaned into calorie and carb cycling. It let me eat more food, fuel my training, stay full, and actually perform in the gym. And that's another part that people forget. Most of the foods with vitamins, minerals, and fiber live in the carb family. Fruits, vegetables, oatmeal, beans. So carbs aren't the enemy, misusing them is. So don't cut carbs. Use them strategically to fuel training, stay full, and support performance. And a lot of people cut carbs because they're trying to lose weight as fast as possible. They think the more extreme the approach, the better the results. But fast fat loss isn't about doing the most extreme thing, it's about picking the path of least resistance. And this is one of the biggest reasons people fail. When people want to lose weight, they don't ask, what can I do consistently? They ask, what will guarantee this works as fast as possible? So they go extreme. They cut carbs, they slash calories, and they overhaul everything at once. And yeah, that might work short term, but it creates a ton of resistance. More hunger, less energy, more stress, more rules to break. The thing that actually sets you up for success is a plan that fits your life, fits your schedule, fits your preferences, and still works on your worst days. And that's what I did when I lost 50 pounds. I didn't try to be elite or perfect. I just simplified everything down to what I could do consistently, because consistency beats intensity every time. So if a plan only works when life is perfect, it's not a very good plan. So don't choose the hardest option just because it feels serious. Choose the option you can repeat daily with less friction. And choosing the path of least resistance requires one important thing. You have to master the basics first. When people decide they want to lose weight, they go online, they start searching for every fat loss tip they can find, and they try to do all of them all at once. And that's the problem. Fat loss is actually pretty simple. You just need to be in a calorie deficit, move more, strength train, and eat foods you like and foods that help you stay on track. Those are the basics. But instead of mastering those, people jump straight to hacks, cold plunges, supplements, perfect timing, fancy hacks, TRT, HRT, peptides, and none of that matters. If the basics aren't locked in and you're not consistent with your calories, your training, your movement, your food choices, no hack is going to save you. The basics are the biggest drivers of results. Once those are solid, then you can layer a tip here and there to make things even better. But adding hacks on top of inconsistency just creates more chaos. So don't try to do everything at once. Master the basics first. They do most of the work. Oh, and there's one more basic thing people always forget, and it has nothing to do with your metabolism, nothing to do with a gym, nothing to do with supplements, but it has one of the biggest impacts on whether you actually stick to the plan. And that's lesson number 9, fix your sleep. Learn how to fix your sleep, like seriously. Poor sleep makes everything way harder. When you're tired, hunger goes up, energy goes down, and decision-making tanks. You crave more food, you have less patience, you're more stressed, and when you're stressed and tired, you don't make good choices. Your diet will always feel harder to stick to when you're exhausted, short-tempered, and constantly craving stuff. Fixing your sleep might not sound exciting, but it removes a massive amount of friction. So before adding more diet or training hacks, fix your sleep. Fat loss gets way easier when you're well rested. And the last and final lesson, the one that I didn't really fully understand until I finally lost those 50 pounds in 4 months. This is the one that actually made everything click. And that's lesson number 10. Fat loss is a skill and you're allowed to suck it first. I've dieted 3 times in my life. The first time, I had no idea what I was doing. The second time, I knew more, but I still didn't have a real strategy. And this last time was completely different. It was a result of everything I've learned over the years, from all those previous attempts and working with real people. That's why this one was easier. And that's why I felt better doing it. And that's why I didn't feel the need to rebound right after. I've actually trained clients who lost weight and gained it back. And that doesn't mean that they failed. It just means that they're still learning the skill. Fat loss isn't something that you master once and just never deal with again ever in your life. Like, shit's gonna happen. And you're probably gonna have to lose weight more than once in your life. You might gain some back, and that's normal. But every attempt teaches you something. What works for you, what doesn't, how to make this fit your life, and each time, you're gonna get better. And the only real failure is just quitting completely. So if you're still trying, you're still improving. Because fat loss is a skill. It really is. And you don't have to be perfect at it. You just gotta keep practicing. And this is what finally made everything stick. So those are the lessons I've learned about fat loss. But if you want to know the actual habits I follow daily to lose the 50 pounds in 4 months, you can watch this video right here.